Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm coming at you with another super simple recipe. To be honest, I'm keeping them really easy and simple for Ramadan, but of course these could just be as kind of sides along with your meal or snacks as well. And basically today's recipe, it's getting a bit smoky back here, is potato kebabs. That actually last time I was in Iraq, my cousin Adnan made for me a couple of times and they were so good, so tasty. So I thought I would share them with you. To be honest, he never got back to us to tell us the exact recipe, so we're kind of winging it a bit, but we know it's easy. We know what we're doing basically. So anyway, yeah, that's fine. Adnan, we'll forgive you, your family. Anyway, I have got some potatoes here. I'm not gonna do the whole going through all the ingredients. There's only a few anyway. I'm just gonna, as normal, leave everything in the description, and obviously you'll see them once I show you what I'm doing anyway. But I'm just going to start off with these potatoes that I've peeled, and I just pop them in some water just to stop them from browning. And I've got some water boiling back here. And I'm just going to stick the potatoes in and let them boil for just around 5 minutes. And then I'm going to be grating them. So I don't want them to be over boiled. These ones here are kind of small to medium ones. I would suggest using 4 small ones, but I only had these small to medium ones, so I'm using 5. So yeah, I'm just gonna let them boil for around 5 minutes. Okay, so while my totties are boiling, I'm just gonna chop up my spring onions, which I'm also gonna stick in mix with the potatoes. I've got 4 here. Okay, so I've just kind of finely sliced those spring onions. You can see that, right? Yeah. Okay, and to be honest, chili isn't part of the recipe, but we've just got this wee half of a chili left over, so I'm also gonna finely chop that and stick it in with everything. To be honest, this one isn't even spicy, but of course if you like chili, go ahead and add some nice chili in there. I'm just going to take out the seeds because we're a bit weak when it comes to the spice. So I brought the water to a boil and the potatoes have been boiling for just about 5 minutes, so I'm just going to drain them out. Okay, so basically I'm just going to grate the potatoes just into this bowl. They're still a bit warm, but it's okay, just wait till they're cool enough for you to handle. So I've just grated up my potatoes. To be honest, it was a bit of an arm workout, so be prepared. And I'm just going to stick my spring onions in there. We lost one, but that's okay. And these. And I should have done this before. I need to chop up the parsley. Okay, so I've added in my spring onions and chili in there, so I'm just going to add in my fresh chopped parsley. This is just about a handful or so. A handful is a bit of a weird measurement, like what, do we all have the same sized hands? But you know what I mean, that's fine. At this point I'm just going to add in a whole bunch of seasonings and spices. I'm just going to start off with some salt. Do you think that's good? Don't judge me. Okay. Obviously in terms of seasonings and stuff, it's kind of, you know, just play about with it. Just add in whatever you like, the taste that you like, but obviously I'll tell you what I'm going to be adding in. So I'm starting off with some onion powder. It's a little bit stuck. And then I'll do some garlic powder. And I'm going to add maybe like a couple of teaspoons of paprika. And just a tiny bit of cumin. Since my mum isn't the biggest fan, but is that good? Just a wee baby. But of course if you like cumin, go ahead and add a teaspoon or however much you want. And then I'm going to go in with just about a teaspoon as well of turmeric. Okay. And I'm going to add just a little bit of ground black pepper in there as well. Maybe like half a teaspoon or so. I'm just going to give this a mix and I'm going to kind of see where we're at in terms of moisture and stuff before adding in any flour. Okay, the spoon wasn't working, so I went in with my hands. Okay, so I'm just going to add in probably just about half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of flour. And I've got some water here as well. I'm just going to add in just a wee tiny bit to start. So I'm just going to add in just a tiny bit more flour just to make sure it binds nicely. That was maybe like a couple of teaspoons, and then I'm just going to give it a final not mix, but you know, mash a final ajin. I would recommend just getting in there with your hands, to be honest. It does make it a lot easier, but obviously if you don't like to do that, you can just use a spoon. I'm just sticking a couple of bits of kitchen towel on a plate just so that I can soak up the excess oil when I take the kebabs out. So I'm just forming these by wetting my hands a little bit, and then I'm just grabbing like, I don't know, a small-ish portion. I don't want them to be too big because the flatter they are, the better they'll fry. So I'm just forming them into these kind of small kind of patties. That one's a bit big, so I'm just going to take a little bit off, reform it because I ruined the shape. And that seems pretty good. And I've got the cooker on medium-high heat, or number 4. And I'm just going to carefully place that in the oil. Yeah. Okay, so I've just slightly overcooked this last batch, but I just thought I'd show you the way I'm flipping it because this is the kind of best method I've found. So I'm using the double spatula tongue method. So the spatula just to kind of grab it, and then the tongue just to flip it. I was doing it with the other hand, so I don't know why I switched it. There we go. And then just kind of sliding it into the tongs and flipping it over, just in case you were a bit unsure about that. And yeah, basically this side is actually a really good example, so let me show you. So I've been flipping them after around maybe 3 to 4 minutes, but this colour is what you're looking for. That seems pretty perfect, just golden and crispy. Okay people, these look, if I may say so myself, very beautiful. I'm so excited to have them in just over an hour. With the baked ones, to be honest, I think I messed up a little bit because I probably should have brushed them with oil, but I just baked them straight up how they were, so they look just a little bit sad. But if you did prefer to bake them, I think maybe just brush them with a little bit of oil. I stuck them in the oven at 200 degrees, but to be honest, I think they maybe should have been at but 220 degrees for... Initially I had them in for 15 minutes, flipped them, and then maybe have them in for another further 10 minutes. But as I say, the fried food is a lovely treat, and I am very excited about these. Did I tell you I'm very excited about these? I'm very excited about these. To be honest, when my cousin made these for me, one of my other cousins was like, oh, didn't you put eggs in them? And he was like, oh yeah, but just a little bit, just a little bit. And I was like, oh okay, cool. But they really don't need the egg. It's fine, obviously, I'm not like mad about it at all. But they don't need the egg, obviously, just the flour in there binds everything beautifully. So yeah, I hope you try it, and if you do try it, I hope you love it, and I'm blabbering on so much, so I'm just gonna end this. Thank you so much for watching, take care, bye!